LeBron would do is due diligence. Skip, you remember the first time he went to Miami, he actually sat down with 6 teams. The Heat, the Clippers, the Nets, the Bulls. We know he will do his homework. He and his team will leave no stone unturned to make sure LeBron maximizes all his options. Mm-hmm. He wants a chance to compete for titles. Mm-hmm. He wants a front office and ownership that will spend to make sure he's afforded every possibility, every single year, to compete for a title. And if that means spending in the luxury tax, that's what you have to be willing to do. So I'm not surprised by this. He also loves stability. What he's going through right now, Skip, they fired their general manager last year, 3 days before the draft. They issued a statement they were not going to renew his contract. It ran out on the 30th. Mm-hmm. So 3 days before the draft, they issued that statement saying they were not going to renew it, basically terminating his contract. Yep. Probably having deals on the table. Now Dan Gilbert steps in and says, okay, who do we call now? They had no general manager, so I guess everybody was calling Dan Gilbert. I just don't see it happening, Skip. I don't.
Because?
It would be... Skip, you can't put 3 best players in the NBA currently on one team.
Why not?
Because you can't. That's not right.
It's doable.
It is.
It's workable.
Anything is possible. They put man on the moon. Mm-hmm. Did you see the election of 2016? So anything's possible, Skip Bayless. No. And here's the kicker. Him going somewhere else and winning 1 title would be better than winning 3 in Golden State. Just like that one that he won in Cleveland is more valuable than the 2 that he got in Miami.
You just can't stand the prospect of the heat that LeBron would take, so to speak, for going to join forces with that dynasty, right?
I mean, what's the problem?
Well, that's your problem.
No, I don't. Look,
isn't that why it's sticking in your craw? I can see it. I can feel it. I can hear it.
Yes, right? Even now, I might just have to back up.
Really?
Yeah, I might just have to back up.
You back off your man?
I'm going to have to back up. I ain't going to say I'm going to get totally off. But here's another thing, Skip. Would I be surprised if he sat down with the Boston Celtics? Nope.
Okay.
He loves stability in the front office. He loves structure. He doesn't like chaos. I mean, people like, well, LeBron likes chaos. He might like to create it, but he likes upper management to be on the straight and narrow. Yep. Not a whole lot of dysfunction. And what we know with Golden State, they run a tight ship. The Clippers with Jerry West intact now, they run it the right way. Danny Ainge in Boston, they do things the right way. So San Antonio, would he? He's going to sit down with Pop and R.C. Buford because they do things the right way. Now, all that's going to be contingent on what they're going to do with.
That's correct.
With
Kawhi
Leonard. Yep. But am I surprised? No. Do I see it happening? I don't see it happening.
So I remind you that last week, Chris Broussard was sitting right here, and I brought this possibility up to you both.
Yes.
And you were both taken aback by it for a moment, and you immediately said, if I'm quoting you correctly, no way the commissioner would allow this to happen.
That's exactly what I said.
And yet, as laid out by ESPN.com, you can see how this would actually fit under the cap as a sign and trade.
Yes.
The trades would have to be Clay and Iguodala.
Because the salaries have to match.
Okay. And Kevin Durant would have to opt out of his current contract and then re-sign at less money and take another one for the team. Would he do that? That's debatable. But if you did that, and you'd have to renounce Sean Livingston, and then you'd have to fill the bench with minimum salary players, okay? But that it's doable under the soft cap as opposed to the hard NFL cap, but the soft cap of the NBA will allow this to happen. So I don't think the commissioner could put the kibosh on this one because it's business, right?
Yeah, David Stern wouldn't let Chris Paul go join Paul Gasol and Kobe.
I still don't understand that one, but I don't know what happened behind the scenes on that one. But this is up front, under the cap, this will work. And ESPN.com is quoting sources around the league who are all sitting back saying, this is looming. This has got real possibilities here.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be...
Okay, so...
Going 79-3. Going 77-5.
You said that last week. And then Chris Broussard said to me, you would kill LeBron for doing that. And honestly, I would not. Trust me on this. You can check the tape. I did not kill LeBron for taking his talents to South Beach when he left Cleveland the first time to join forces with, obviously, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh.
You killed him more for going back to Cleveland.
I did, actually. I did. Because I couldn't believe after the bridge got burned by Dan Gilbert, you joined forces with him.
Yeah.
You try to peacefully coexist with that guy who betrayed you completely because he thought you betrayed him.
Correct.
And now look what's happened. It's predictable. It went right back to where it was the first time, right?
Yep.
So the reason I wouldn't, quote unquote, kill LeBron for this is he's chasing that ghost in Chicago, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, and in the end, it's like KD. I did not kill KD for leaving Russell Westbrook in his 10th season to go join forces with those guys out there on the West Coast in Golden State because all Kevin was thinking is, I haven't won a single championship.
Right.
Guess what? He has now, and he's won a Finals MVP. And when all is said and done, and the smoke clears, and the years start to pass, you look back on Kevin Durant's career, and you just say, "Oh, rings," right? And you don't really think about how he won the rings. You just think about that he did win the rings.
Correct.
Well, so if LeBron, let's do the hypothetical. If he joins forces then with Steph and KD, there'd be no Clay, but there would probably be a Draymond. So those three, okay, good. I got that. But when the smoke clears on LeBron's career, what if he added, dare I say, 3 more rings, even 2 more rings, and say 3 finals appearances? Who knows what could happen?
Well,
but all of a sudden, you'd be getting up in rare air, right?
Well, this is what we know, Skip. He would never, ever win another MVP. I don't believe anybody on that roster would win the MVP. So that would be out. Rings possible. But then this is what you're going to have. You're going to have somebody, you're going to have Boston, or you're going to have some other team because it's reported that Golden State's going to try to make a play at Anthony Davis. Basically, you'll have like 4 teams and 26 other teams with no chance of winning a title.
Okay, fine. Now, I'm going to flip the script on this, and I'm going to put you back on the hot seat because we're only looking at it from LeBron's point of view. Let's look at it from Golden State's point of view.
Yes.
Guess what, boys and girls? I believe that Steph and KD, if asked what they think about this, they would say no. In fact, I think they'd say an emphatic no. I think even Draymond, who's now kissed and made up with LeBron like they're buds now, I don't know. But I think even Draymond would say, we don't need him. Look what we're doing. We're creating a dynasty. And now here's the looming truth. I'm starting to see signs of age in LeBron James. And I saw it again last night in the second half. Remember, this is the end of his 15th season. Next year will be his 16th season. And just look at what's happened since Christmas. Have you not seen a little slowing down? Maybe not on the offensive end, but his plus-minus now is the 4th worst in the NBA since Christmas. And you can throw Isaiah into this bad mix, and he can be the new scapegoat. And I get all that. But 4th worst in the NBA, plus-minus, that's out of 515 NBA players, and that's LeBron James. So he's now 3rd in the NBA in turnovers. Well, that's no good, and he had 6 in the first half last night, and we're starting to see more and more just sort of careless, out-of-it turnovers.
But a lot of his turnovers, who are he trying to get the ball to?
Okay, well, it's a fair point. And he's trying to do too much with too little, you can argue. But he's starting to turn the ball over at a dangerously high rate. And then his defensive win shares, just individually, he's dropped to 317th in the NBA. And going into last night, and we're going to talk about last night in a little bit, but going into last night, they had fallen into a tie for dead last in overall defense as a team.
Well, they should.
They should. That's how they were playing. Okay, and last night, somehow they held Miami to 89 points, but we'll talk about why. When you shoot 3 for 28 from 3, that helps, but or hurts.
That's more bad Miami's offense as opposed to good, according to good Cleveland's defense.
Correct. But, again, are any of these guys in Golden State LeBron's banana boat buddies? You know, like is there a Dwayne or a CP3 or a Melo? Nope, they're not those guys. Have they all had their differences and little quarrels over the... Yeah, they all have. Are they all getting along pretty well? Yeah, so that it would probably work, just sort of off the court, but I just don't think they would want him on the court.
But KD go get a chance to see what it's like to play with LeBron again on the All-Star team.
Okay.
Don't think that's an accident.
It could be one back over?
Don't think that's an accident.
Okay.
I told you who he was going to pick first. You talking about, no, don't do it. We just trying to see if this thing could work.
So now we're 2. If you can't beat them, join them.
Don't
right?
Stop.
Am I right? Well, that's what that smacks up to me.
It don't smack of nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.